The following review is intended for entertainment purposes and targeted for adult fans of the series.
Because honestly, this is a clip show. We're not doing this for the plot, so who cares? Not me. Hello there, heroes, and happy holidays. I do realize it's a little after the fact now, but this is when I'm getting to the Christmas episode, so this is gonna have to do. And by the way, a special hello to those of you who decided to immediately tune out of my rhyming review done over in the full version. Seriously, the choice is yours as always, but you should know that I really enjoy writing those types of reviews. Writing episode reviews can get a little samey week in and week out, so it's fun every once in a while to challenge myself by writing a poem or writing a limerick, etc., etc. But I do realize how irritating that can get to listen to over time, so worry not. I'm not rhyming yet in this video, and I'm not about to start. Doing that wouldn't be good for your hearts. Okay, sorry, couldn't resist getting just one in. I'm the Orange Ranger, and these are just the facts on Dino Fury Episode 22, Secret Santa.
While on holiday eggnog some of you imbibe, we invite you tonight to go please subscribe. And also, we think that it would be just swell if you set notifications and also hit that bell. If you wish to offer us financial support, check Patreon or Ko-fi and appear on our report. Yeah, come on, go on, do it. It ain't gonna hurt you. Ain't that right, little fuzzball? Right, you.
Oh, yeah, by the way, elements that are shared between the two videos might still contain the rhyming this time. Don't worry, I will spare you from the vast majority of it. Presumably on Christmas Day, Javi is outside at some sort of strip mall playing Christmas carols. They even have a mall Santa outside talking to the kids. As Javi plays, a mysterious man drops a purple and gold star into his case. Purple, huh? That's interesting. After he finishes the song, Izzy runs by on a jog and stops to talk. She points out that his keyboard is missing a key, and he says that he can't get it replaced because the keyboard is too old. It really doesn't look all that old, and keyboard keys are pretty standardized, but okay. She then asks him if he's finished buying gifts for the Ranger's Secret Santa.
Roll credits.
Gift exchange. And he admits that he hasn't even started yet, meaning that if this is Christmas Day, it's too late. Most US retail stores are actually closed on Christmas Day itself, so that's your bad, Javi. Of course, this is a TV show, so he says he can still go shopping. Either that or the Rangers aren't doing their gift exchange on Christmas Day itself, which makes sense because they would need to go spend time with their families, and anyway. So Javi has anxiety about buying the perfect gift and asks the mall Santa for advice. Except that this is not a mall Santa. This is Santa. First of all, it's John Sumner, who's come to be known as Fresno Santa by the Ranger fandom, for his role as Fresno Bob on Power Rangers RPM, and his role as Santa Claus in every season of Power Rangers since Dino Charge. What the Santa Claus is doing sitting at a strip mall talking to kids in Pine Ridge is a question worth wondering about, though. He tells Javi that the best gift that he ever got was a pair of winter gloves from his wife. Interestingly, the gloves are black, which kind of clashes with his whole red and white motif. Javi thinks gloves are a great idea. They're not, but you'll see why later, and starts to leave to go get some, but Santa says he can do Javi one better. The elves gave him a magic sketchbook, and honestly, this is one of those gifts that makes life easier for the giver instead of the recipient. Santa can draw anything in the sketchbook, and it instantly becomes real. However, with maturity, Javi says that this is his responsibility and he'll take care of it. Nearby, Slither and Mucus are listening in, and since this is just the facts, I'm gonna go ahead and just spoil it for you. No, they never establish how those two got out of the Dark Dimension. In fact, they kind of lampshade it later in the episode, having the villains sort of jokingly pose the question at the Rangers, but never actually answering it.
No, 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 no.
And just in case anyone starts to think, well, this is a holiday special, clearly it takes place before the story finale, they specifically say that they'll make the Rangers pay for destroying Void Knight. So anyway, they want the sketchbook. Javi heads to the base and gives the other Rangers the purple and gold star to put on top of the tree. It's absolutely perfect because, you know, none of them are purple, and their main enemy is, or was, purple.
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
They ask Javi what he got for his Secret Santa, and he shows them a lovely pair of winter gloves that are not going to be a really good choice for his Secret Santa because that's Solon. She has the robo claws. The gloves are not going to fit. Interestingly enough, Santa could have drawn Javi a pair of claw-shaped gloves. Shouldn't have really shot that down, should you, Javi? For some reason, rather than sending him back out to fix this while they stall Solon, they do that the other way around. Ah, the demands of the stock footage. Javi stalls Solon by drawing her attention to a pile of cards that Amelia brought in for the Rangers via Buzz Blast. He finds one in a big envelope with backwards R's written on it. He opens it, and a purple electronic blast disables the ship's systems. There is a card that plays a recording of Mucus telling them that they've been given an explosive gift, and now they can't teleport away or call for help. In 10 minutes, kablooey. Now again, this is just the facts. I cut to the chase. It is so painfully, obviously the purple star on top of the tree. However, it's Christmas, and you know what that means. That's right. It's a clip show. So I'm going to cut this down a huge chunk here. Each of the Rangers' gifts for each other is connected to a clip. Well, except Ion's for Amelia, because apparently he thought it was Secret Sander and got Amelia a belt sander.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
I will say that this whole thing gave me very pleasant reminders and flashbacks of how I spent this Christmas, the Monday before, thanks retail and food service, with my deep squad of friends. We also did a Secret Santa, though honestly most of us just got gifts for everyone anyway. I sincerely hope that everyone watching this video either has or will soon have a group of friends like that. As the Rangers do Javi's shopping for him, they get a call from Santa Claus. For those of you who may be new to the fandom, it's a generally accepted fact at this point that Santa Claus is an ally of the Power Rangers. They seem to get a call from Santa at some point during their career if they don't just send one of their communicators to the North Pole as soon as they get started. I mean, there's really no protecting your secret identities from Mr. Sees you when you're sleeping, knows when you're awake. Santa tells them that the sketchbook has been stolen, and he's very pragmatic about it. They'd never say anything this dark on Power Rangers, but the villains could draw a nuke in this thing. If it can't be recovered, it has to be destroyed. With the timing of plot convenience, the Rangers run into Mucus and Slither right away, and as usual, Mucus ha-ha-has the plan right out to the Rangers. Slither draws a giant spider monster in the book, and thus one appears. Zato activates the Zord override and summons the T-Rex, Dimetro, and Megazords, and they combine to form the Fusion Megazord. Yeah, the Fusion Megazord. I'm calling it what it is. Back at the base, they get through all the gifts, and since none of them were the bomb, they are confuzzled. Until Javi realizes that the purple star looks a lot like the purple bad guy. He thinks it was Slither that gave it to him, but I actually think it was Void Knight in disguise. Guess what? That's the bomb!
What did you say?
But they can't leave the base, so how are they going to escape the bomb? Interesting idea here. The Sporix chest can contain the large amounts of energy held by the Sporix, so maybe it can contain a bomb as well? And I mean, I guess the Sporix are theoretically indestructible, so it's not like this is cruel and unusual punishment for them, so sure, why not? And the bomb goes in, and it's totally safe, and then the systems come back online because I have candy cane sleeves.
Who knows? Not me. Who cares? Ditto mark.
Back at the Zord fight, the Rangers destroy a giant whistle that had no establishment in our story whatsoever, and then quickly destroy the giant spider. Interestingly enough, though, we are not done with the Zords yet. They hop down to confront Slither. Slither draws a giant version of himself to fight the Rangers, and the Rangers hop right back into the Zords, warrior formation and Mosa battle this time. Not that it matters much because they deal with Slither just as quickly. In fact, I think faster. Back at the base, it's Secret Santa time. Oh, and Santa himself is there for reasons that don't really matter. The sketchbook was destroyed, by the way, but Santa says it's okay. He prefers making gifts the old-fashioned way, by making the elves do it. Seriously, he all but actually says that. Now I have to double back just a little. Back when Javi was stalling Solon, he asked if she wanted to sing a Christmas carol with him. But she says that she gets too nervous and forgets the words. Back to the present, they ended up being each other's Secret Santa. Ironically, that's not always the case with Secret Santa, and in fact, none of the other Rangers were paired up that way. She made him a brand new key for his keyboard to replace the missing one, and he gave her his Christmas Carol songbook so she'll remember the words. Everyone sings a jazzed up version of Jingle Bells, again, including Santa Claus. And for one last time this season, let's balance the scales. Episode 22, Secret Santa Pros. The Ranger family ties this one did expose. Certainly not lacking in creativity, and the clips were quite short, what we don't want to see. Cons, I guess Santa is real and just hangs in Pine Ridge. Info on Mucus and Slither, just a smidge. 2 different Zord fights and both are a bore. Well, now I guess that it's time for the score. This will sound like a terrible ruling to spit, but this episode has less than no right to exist. When not being boring, it was just insane. Watching this episode left me in pain. That's not a good thing now. The score's going live. Secret Santa gets 2 scales out of 5. Christmas, perhaps more than any other time of the year, showcases the bond between good friends and family, and this was no exception. Funny enough, the connection between the 2 Rangers that are actually family was actually downplayed. Izzy and Javi have a scene at the beginning of the episode, but it was more to establish plot details than anything else. The gifts between the Rangers showcase how much they appreciate and care for each other, and it was nice to see Solon get that same appreciation. Certainly not lacking in creativity is the kind of backhanded compliment that you see written on a C+ creative writing assignment by the teacher, but this one had some unique concepts to it. One of the nice things about these annual clip shows is that they usually give the writers freedom to use some of the stranger episodes from the Sentai, because honestly, this is a clip show, we're not doing this for the plot, so who cares? Magic sketchbooks, tree topper bombs, secret sander. The crucial, critical element to a clip show is that the clips not overstay their welcome. I'm not just talking about having an interesting framing device to introduce them. I mean you need to have a decent chunk of story around all that. Centering the clips on the gifts lets them intro the clips, run them, and then move on to resolving the rest of the story. It was handled pretty well. Santa is handled really confusingly here. We've established that in this universe, Santa is real, and heck, this isn't even the first time on Power Rangers that we've seen Santa Claus on a random chair somewhere talking to kids in the Rangers' hometown. It's just that this was handled so matter-of-factly. Javi never once questioned that this was the real Santa Claus or what Santa was doing in Pine Ridge. I'd have thought that a regular mall Santa would be a nutcase if they were talking like they were the real one.
We got a Django problem on our hands. Santa's going nuts!
And yeah, I'm not gonna let this dark dimension thing slide. You see, this is why having Christmas be your last episode of the season hurts your story. It worked for Beast Morphers because they set it up properly. Sprozzle had escaped, they didn't know where, so there he was. Here, your main villain has already been destroyed. Mucus and Slither are all you have left to do any sort of a story, so you have to remove them from their temporary resolution and shove them back into the story with no grace. And no, I don't even think we know where they are now. And I should be giving a 6 out of 5 to any episode that features 2 Zord fights. The Zords are the primo reason that I love Power Rangers. But guess what? Boring plus boring only adds up to boring. It's like they picked these 2 Zord fights because they were short and boring and easy to fit into the same episode. I would have rather had one really good Zord fight. The sketchbook thing lets you set up any Zord fight you want from the footage. So I almost pasted in the latter part of the script of the main review into this one script until I realized that that was rhyming for another 8 stanzas, and a lot of you are watching this video to avoid that. So yeah, I'll give you a different summary over in this video that kind of sums up what I was talking about in the rhymes over there. The word of the day for this episode is obligation. They had to scrape together a clip show to use some of that stock footage and get one more episode in below cost. And what really bothers me is this is now our last memory of Dino Fury's first season. Not Void Trap with its bombastic popcorn ending and promises of more to come. Instead, it's the Rangers singing Jingle Bells with Santa. It really is best to just think of this episode as exactly what it was.
The epilogue!
So, the next episode of Dino Fury will be the premiere of Season 2. The franchise's first Netflix-exclusive episode. However, that's not what the next Dino Fury video is going to be about. A season of Power Rangers has come to an end. That means it's time for some summarizing. Next time, a recap and review of Dino Fury's first season. That is going to wrap up the last episode review of Dino Fury Season 1. Thank you, heroes, so much, as always, for watching. I hope that you did have a truly wonderful holiday season, and that 2022 is off to a good start for all of you. Now that the video's done, you can let me know what you thought of this episode, as well as my review of it, down in the comments below. While you're down there, make sure you smack that thumbs up button to let me know that you enjoyed this video. And if you'd like to lend any financial support to my channel in a way that's not Patreon or Ko-fi, this outfit is not for sale on my Teespring, but the shirt I normally wear is, as well as some great Orange Ranger merch. Until next time, heroes, may the power protect you. He opens it, and a purple blast and are enjoying your year 2022 thus far. If you sing